Hi, I'm Jenny Barnett Rohrs. Let's get creative and bring our favorite outdoor things inside. This leafy tree banner is a great way to bring the trees inside with you. And we're going to do some recycling, which is really nature friendly as well. To make this craft, we're going to need some supplies. You're going to want some burlap roll, some decorative mesh, felt in pretty colors, some glue and scissors, a marker, painter's tape is your good friend, and remember I said recycling? We're going to need those toilet paper tubes, and we're going to go ahead outside and pick up some sticks to use inside. So the first thing I want to show you is how this roll of burlap comes. Because when you unroll it and cut it, you'll see that you actually have finished edges, and we're going to use that to our advantage. So you're going to make your banner the width of the burlap roll and then just cut it off to whatever length you'd like. The decorative mesh is pretty similar, but notice how much thinner it is, so we're going to have that go the other way. And I'm going to show you here. So once you get everything cut out, here is that finished edge at the top and the bottom, and at the side, we're going to start off by doing a little bit of fraying. And it's so easy, you just literally pick the strings out. Now, don't throw those away. We're going to recycle those too. It's going to be a decorative hanger for our banner. So once you have this the way you like it, we're going to go ahead and glue it down. And you're going to need a non-stick surface. So we're going to do a little more recycling and take a big piece of cardboard and cover it with some parchment paper. And also like shiny freezer paper also works, but you want the shiny side up. And you just tape it on the back, but this makes it non-stick so that if the glue seeps through, you can peel it up and it won't ruin your project. So we're going to go ahead and glue it down, noticing once again that the finished edges for the burlap are at the top and the bottom, but the finished edges of the decorative mesh go from side to side. And you can fray that up a little bit too if you like, making it more fringy or less fringy as you like. And we're just going to go ahead and glue that down using some nice stronghold glue. And you see how it kind of smooshes up through, but that's okay because it won't stick. And then we're just going to use a few pins to keep it from moving around. And we're going to go ahead and pin around the edges, and it will dry clear so you won't see it at all. So once we've got that glued down, now we can go and start working with our twigs. And this is so much fun to go out and have a little nature walk and find some twigs that work for you. They can be big or little. Again, it's kind of your choice. And you're just going to arrange them in a pleasing pattern. And once you get it kind of the way you like it, we're going to glue it down with some more glue. Now you see I've got a little bit of painter's tape here, and that again is going to help it just stay in place so that it doesn't move as it's drying. And this, really the thicker the glue, the better for this, because you don't want it to, you know, not hold up, because it is going to hang up and down. So once this is, I'm going to add some more glue just because I want to make sure it stays down. More is better when it comes to this kind of glue project. And you can see how it's bowing up, so we will tape it down. Now, while this is setting up a little bit, let's make our leaves. And this is when we're going to get out our toilet paper tube, and we're just going to give it a little squish so it makes an oval shape with points. Not too much. And then give it a snip. And these don't have to be perfect. I kind of eyeball them, but you just want to make them about the same width. This becomes your pattern. So now you can lay it down on your felt. Let me move that out of the way for you. And we'll go ahead and trace around using a paint marker. Now, if you like this as part of the design, you can, when you trim it, you can actually trim on the outside and keep that edge. Or if you don't like it, trim it on the inside or just flip it over. But now we'll go ahead and make a bunch of leaves. And this is really going to, again, kind of depend on what season it is where you live. If you want to make a springy one, you might want to stick to pastel colors. If it's fall, then you can use these beautiful autumnal colors. Now see, I can take that and just flip it right over, and then we'll start gluing these on. I like to do them in clusters. I think that just looks really nice. And I've got some here that I've already cut out. So maybe do a set of 2, a set of 3, just kind of mix it up, making sure that you don't have too many of the same color right next to each other. And just kind of add that on. Again, see, I'm using that nice super thick glue. And you're going to continue this all the way around until you've got as many as you'd like. So when it's dry, it's gonna look something like this. Now we're gonna go back to those toilet paper tubes and cut up as many little slices as you have leaves down. And we're gonna glue those on top. And it's a little goopy, but that's okay. Now you're just gonna kind of jimmy those right on top so that it covers up the leaf. And it just adds this three-dimensional quality that is a lot of fun. And again, if you wanted to do something, say for winter, you could actually paint these, maybe white or silver, and also spray paint your sticks first or paint them with acrylic paint so that you can have seasonal versions. Now, once this is dry, you're gonna wanna take those leftover bits of burlap. Remember I told you to save them, we're big on recycling, and we're gonna make a little hanging loop. And this can be, fancy or not fancy, depending on what you want. But we're gonna just take those and glue it on using that nice super thick glue and a few more pins to keep it in place when it dries. When it's all done, you can go ahead and hang it using the big twig on top. It's so much fun and such a great way of bringing the outside inside and recycling.